Well, good morning, everyone. We got a cold, rainy morning. Be careful out there. There's water standing in places. I've been listening to the news and reading people's comments and things. We're in day 6 of the government shutdown, and like always, the Democrats want to blame it on the Republicans, or in this case, the president. Republicans don't even come into it anymore. It's all Trump's fault. I don't know if you realize it or not, but the news media is lying to you. And the way you tell it is you go watch the whole news conference or the whole speech, no matter who's talking, whatever it is, and listen to it, and then go listen to all the other news outlets, Fox included, for that matter. I watched the whole Oval Office, Blivet, whatever you want to call it. First of all, Nancy Pelosi did not want the press in there. This transparent woman, she said, we need to be talking about this behind closed doors, because they say one thing and they go out and say another. Okay, she told President Trump, she said, if you want this bill passed, present it to the House. And he said, Nancy, that's not going to do any good because the Senate won't approve it. And she said, you don't have the votes in the House. And he said, yes, I do. And she said, no, you don't. And he said, Nancy, I have the votes in the House, but I don't have the votes in the Senate. There's no point in going through all that if it's not going to go through the Senate. And in her haughty little Aunt Nancy voice, she says, no, you don't. You do not have the votes. She said, if you do, put up a bill. Okay, I don't know if you snowflakes realize it or not, but there's some people, you don't call their hand on things. Don't call their bluff, because they may not be bluffing. So he threw down a bill. He told them he could get it done in one session. Chuck Schumer laughed. No way. No way. And both of them looked like little kids that had been called into the principal's office. So he throws his bill down to the House. In one session, boom, it goes through. Gets to the Senate, and because it's such a hot issue, and we got elections coming up again in 2 years, and a lot of them that didn't go this time, yeah, they're up in 2020. And for 8 years, the Democrats and Obama had a chance to do something about immigration, illegal immigration. Obama put up a bill asking for $6.5 billion. Not million, billion. That's 1.5 million more than Trump is asking for. And Obama said it was for border security, fencing or barriers in some places. Let's quit playing the word game, okay? Clinton started that crap, and I'm tired of it. It depends on what the definition of is bullshit. Pardon my French. No, barrier, wall, fence, speed bump. That's all we had was a speed bump up until President Trump came in. There is illegals, there's drugs, there's child trafficking. Nobody mentions the kids. What about the camp that they found in Arizona where they had kids stored in there? There was kids' clothes and toys. The other camp in, I believe it was New Mexico, where the guy was training the kids to be school shooters. I saw yesterday where they were just released. No charges, no bond. Somebody needs to look into that judge. Check her bank account, check a few other things. But I want to tell you something, people. Until a bill passes the Senate, obviously some of you didn't take civics or you didn't pay attention, that bill is still in the Congress. It has nothing to do with the president. They can strip that wall funding out of there and send it right back to the House for approval. The House can approve it. They send it right back to the Senate. They sign it and send it to the president. And until he vetoes it, it's on their head, not his. Now, go watch the Senate Judiciary Committee hearings with Tom Fenton, the IRS spokesman, and the 2 whistleblowers. You won't hear any of that on CNN or on any of these other 3-letter mainstream fake news networks. Look around. Go other places. That don't mean it's going to be true when you get there, but you take all this information, you put it together with what you've seen other places. There's a such thing as discernment. That means knowing the truth, or as opposed to a lie, right from wrong, so to speak. I know that our country doesn't have it, but as an individual, you have that opportunity to use it. And then go back to reliable sources where they haven't lied to you before. I tell people about WikiLeaks. I'll say something about this happened or that happened, and they'll want to argue. And I'll say, have you read the WikiLeaks emails? Well, those were hacked. They were stolen. Whatever they were, it's still the content that matters. You're being lied to. There's a whole bunch of people going down. It's been going on for a while. The wheels of justice had turned slow because you have your Comeys, your Pages, your Strucks, all those people that were covering their butts, covering everybody else's butts, but it's all starting to finally come out. My advice to everyone is take in as much information as you can, keep the good, throw out the bad. The bad doesn't mean just because you don't agree with it. And I want to tell you something. There's going to be people go down on both sides. This has been so dirty. Kids being trafficked and moved around. Go back and look at the Franklin scandal and see what that's all about. It's a shame. Now, before you start hating and everybody says, oh, you shouldn't judge. I say, okay, whatever. But I see a lot of judgment from people saying that you shouldn't judge, but they're making false judgment or inaccurate judgments because it's not based on the facts. The facts are out there. Go listen to the hearings where Lynch and Comey testified publicly 2 years ago, a year ago, and listen to what's coming out in the news now. Listen to what they're saying now. This whole house of cards is going down, and it's going to go down from who the top man was all the way down through Sister Hillary. Anyway, y'all have a good day. Please do your research. It not only helps you, it helps everybody else.